Hi, this is Matt Finch and Zach Lazar, and we have been working on a project to do a sort of a traditional, it's become a game or a tradition at Frog God that when we do a big Kickstarter, I sort of make a movie of my wizard Argyle and his cat familiar Podge going through, and you hear Argyle talking to Podge, but since Podge is a familiar, you can't hear what he's saying, so it's a completely one-sided conversation. And we've been putting up these videos of the prep for the models and the things like that that are going to be out there. And so we are now at the second to last one of these, which is where with Zach's help, I'm going to sort of begin assembling the setting in which this is going to take place. And from the original plans, of course, no battle plan survives contact with the enemy. So this setup is going to be what we're trying to do here is now figuring out how to get it set up with the stuff that we did actually manage to get done. All right, Zach.
Yep. No, and the best part is that I got to watch the painting part of some of these too in the new models, so I'm excited.
And what we're going to do here is I'm going to now switch over just to another camera, and so this is the last time that you will see my pretty face. There is the starting point that we're working from on putting together the City of Brass.
Hey,
And
talk
so,
about before you start too far. Talk about what is that some kind of like canvas or special kind of like floor pattern?
yeah, this is just a battle mat. I went out
Nice.
and found one that had cobblestone. It's probably going to be awfully shiny. I may spray it with matte varnish, or else I may just try and block off all light sources, or do this at night and just rely on the camera's light. But for now, I'm not screwing with that.
Very clever. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's a battle mat, and the reason for that is simply that was actually adjustment number one, because I started to realize that there was no way I was going to be able to print enough street tiles. The basis for all of the stuff I'm putting together is terrain that comes from Fat Dragon Games, which is printable 3D scenery, and that is sort of the thing that's holding it all together. Now, the street tiles would have been one of the things that I was working with, but for anyone who doesn't know about 3D printers, they're fairly slow, and so when you're trying to produce a lot of stuff, that takes a lot of time, and I had obviously a lot of other stuff that I was trying to put together for this. So there are a couple different actually, there are a lot. As we go through, I'll mention how something was made, or was made. So we're moving over here now to, let me try and get to the origin point on this. This camera's a little bit hard to figure out what it's pointing at. Okay, so over here, the original plan was that this would be the starting point, and then we would sort of move through the sort of space up to the end. This is where the major part of the Black Magic Bazaar is going to be, and then our characters, Argyle and Podge, would walk back along here and then come back essentially to the origin point. And so the structure of the thing, and then there were going to be a couple of little side areas where they could look down a corner and see something, and then keep going back straight again. So anyway, that's the basic plan of how we're going to start putting this together. Any thoughts right at the beginning, Zach?
No, except that it's good. Looks awesome. The warehouse looks great.
Thank you. Yeah, that's probably one of the most detailed pieces I've put together. Absolute bear in terms of time. So the sort of the plan is, in the middle we're going to have some buildings, and at the sides we're going to need buildings. And so I think for the very beginning point over here, which is where the camera, and this is the camera that's going to be doing the actual walkthrough. So
what kind of camera is that, man?
It's just a regular webcam.
Okay.
You can see the little thing on top I put in there to help keep the cable out of the way. So we're going to begin with our minis here, and actually, you know what, it might not be a bad idea. This camera is basically where the minis are going to be standing at the beginning. So what we're going to need to have is some buildings to the side. The biggest concern in making one of these videos is the length of the shot, because the further that the camera can see, the higher up its horizon goes. And obviously, there's a certain point where you're just going to be seeing the sheets that I've got put up in front of the window right now to, block the sunlight from coming in too heavily.
I'm gonna buy you one of those like Hollywood style, like sunset things. That I'll print one on one of those big polyester maps, like we do our maps, so you can hang it in your window, so it looks like it's always sunset there. Anyway,
all right. So I think that we're going to have, so right here, we're going to have the minis going in two directions. They're going to be departing and they're going to be coming back. And so this, I think, let's see, that means they're going to be headed toward this direction. So I'm going to need something that's pretty tall. Actually, I think I'm going to lead off here with one of the tallest pieces that I have. So that's either going to be the warehouse or it's going to be what I call the octopus building. And I think let's go with the warehouse because it has a roof. The octopus building does not. So we're going to move the warehouse, maybe not as the absolute initial starting point. Move the warehouse to there, and we'll put a, it's got to be pretty tall. I want to use the warehouse to where people go around it. We're going to put the warehouse as the corner that they come around. So they'll see that on 3 different sides. We're going to put the octopus building here. So this will be the starting point right here for the camera. And
who's in the window?
What? Oh yeah,
the octopus building. I never saw that before. Sorry.
Yeah. There's a guy in the window. The octopus building here is one that I cast out of plaster, just using modeling clay and basically sculpting a bas relief for it using things to make impressions and so on and so forth. So that's what this is. It's not actually a 3D printed piece. So right now we've got, let me move the camera around. So here is sort of our first little area here. And the perspective, as I'm thinking this out, I should have rehearsed this video a little better because this could end up being a long video with me talking to myself. So you're supposed to interrupt at any time, Zach. So this
I'm admiring.
Okay, so that's where they're starting out, and as they walk along, now once they get to about here, the camera is pretty much going to be looking straight forward. So the stuff to the side here can be some of the lower pieces that I've got.
Do you always leave it that many squares apart to fit the camera through? So what is that? In a 28 millimeter, that's 60 feet.
The area needed for the camera to go through, and that is how I'm defining the length of the street. I just haven't sort of put everything in place yet. But so here's our camera, and that means that in order to move the camera pretty freely, that roughly needs to be the width of the street.
Okay.
So they're going to be walking sort of sideways, going down along this corridor here. And so I've got my next building set up at the edge. That's this blocking wall here. And then they're going to get to an alleyway. So we're actually going to shift everything to the side a little bit. And then there's this building here. And then I think we'll put it.
That's so they can look down the alley, like they turn and look and they go.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's look, Kenku, and then keep going or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look, a genie. Sorry.
So yeah, no, that's exactly right. I have a genie miniature. I'm not going to screw around right now with the actual minis that are going to be involved. I'll just show those.
You can be surprised when they're in the video.
Yeah, exactly. So now I have put up a gate over there. I think that's visible there. Okay, so there's a gate, and that's that. They're going to look through that gate. That's something that you can look through. So, so the thing is now rotate the camera around here, and so now we're looking. Okay, so here's my gate that we were just looking at. We're seeing
you need a dead end.
Exactly. I need to do a dead end. So, and they're going to be looking. I can put that dead end pretty close to the camera, so I don't need something that is super high. Probably just use this, here, and then if I can lower this camera down and get a shot through there, what's that going to look like? So they'll be looking
That
through and they'll
looks
see
fine.
that. Okay, so
Yep.
that looks good. So we're going to bring the camera back up again. There's going to be something in that little area that they see. And then, so from there,
I still have Jordan by my brain. I keep thinking I want to be a crow or a Rekestric or something.
So then we'll put another building there, and we want to have another alleyway for them to look down. And so here, let's use one of the figure that we're going to have an alleyway there. Is this visible?
That's a 2-level building, isn't it?
It's gonna be a 2-level building, yeah. Okay. So
and that's Fat Dragon?
This one is Fat Dragon, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And I've got frontage here. I guess they're going to be looking down the length of it in the alley, so I'm going to have to go ahead and complete the building square of that building. So I'll go ahead, throw it in. This one I've got done as a 20 by 30. Throw that in there, which has a little balcony. And then the top of it, here's part of the top. And probably I may complete the top on that building. It sort of depends on what they're going to see. But so then, all right, so they're going to look down.
Alley? So okay, so you're needed.
Yeah, I want to use an alleyway there. So
you want a termination on the other side because they're going to walk through there as well, right? So basically, you're doing around these two buildings pretty much.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I don't want to move up my first alley. I think I'll move up my first alley a little bit. And so what'll happen there is they'll look down, because I want to have them look down
one alley then the other, right?
Yeah, exactly. So all right, so that means I need a building about yay big. Once again, these ones on this street don't need to be very tall. All right, so the building I'm working with right now, again, this is another one of the Fat Dragon buildings,
right.
And I'm trying to figure out if it's visible. Okay, so yeah. So I'm working with this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put a top on it. Oh, that's actually a second story I've got there. All right. So throw a top on there. La la la. We end up with something like this. I'll connect that, match that up. All right. So now we're sort of getting our first street developing here. I'm going to scoot that back so that things aren't quite so regular looking. And so,
yeah, Casey Christopherson would never write a clean city that was like full of regularity.
No,
that would not be him. If you don't know it, he's the author of City of Brass. For anybody watching this doesn't know, he is chaos, like personified, and I mean that in the loving way. I really do.
Yeah, in the most amusing way possible. All right, now let's see. So when they come back down this direction, I'm going to put got a lot of room here. Trying to figure out what I want to do. I start. All right. Well, we'll try this. Once again, that's just a sort of a blocker street for people to go through. Actually, I like this one a little better. So just put that up there, like so. All right. So now, just giving our aerial view of things. We're going to start from here. We're going to move along here.
Look down one alley.
Look down this alley. Then we're going to come down here and we're going to look down this alley. So where we stand right now is here at the end of that little street.
By the bazaar, right?
Yeah. Now we've got our Black Magic Bazaar to set up. And so one of the things that I got for the Black Magic Bazaar, I'm just trying to set the camera up. All right, so this is the area for the Black Magic Bazaar. That's where our road comes out. That's the road we've been working from, and then we've got a pile of stuff. What I wanted to do for this, once again, see, this is the area that they're headed toward where they're going to see something at a very long distance. So I'm going to need something tall here as well. And so I've got, and this is actually the first time I've tried putting these pieces together. So, but I'm going to.
What kind of pieces are those?
These are 3D printed. They are from a set called Tikal Temple. And I don't remember off the top of my head the name of the guy who sculpted them. You can see that the real concept here is an Aztec or a jungle type temple. But here, what I'm using it for is more along the lines of I want to get a second level. Yeah, exactly. And then so this will lift it up and it'll let me do some stuff. So actually most of the back wall of my bazaar is going to be done with this stuff. And then what I'm going to do is I've got a couple of lower buildings here.
You're going to right.
That I'm just going to stack on.
And that gives you, so from the distance shot from the very beginning, you're not going to see over the top of those.
Correct.
That's the goal, right?
Yes.
All right.
And now actually, I mean, I'm leaving, there's a hole in there.
There's a pit trap. It's called a pit trap.
Yeah, but I don't, unless I screw up.
That's where the Muppets come up in the stage.
Exactly. That's the finger puppets that I use will show up there. And then actually, I guess I could probably throw this. It's not going to look very good, but I'll throw it in the back as an additional blocking wall. Now, what I've got now is I do have this gap area over here.
You should use the bad choice alley pieces.
Temporarily. Oh, these are going to end up being the bad choice alleyways. Let's see. I could put a piece. How would this work best? It'll work best if I just set it back here, and then there's an alleyway that they won't look down. So they're going to come along here, and they're going to see that angle, and it'll look like there's an alleyway there, but they won't see down it. So I don't need to put any more stuff. And then they're going to come around here. And this is bazaar area, and so there's going to be like figures and stuff there.
Did you get tents or anything made? Like vendor stalls?
I did not. Yeah, well, I've got some vendor stalls that I'll be putting in there. Maybe. And
you have a cage, right? You have a cage that has a halfling or gnome in it, right?
It does not have a halfling in it, but I have a cage. I could put a halfling in it. I did that.
I think you should.
The adventures. So here.
That looks good. I mean, when you just came down.
Yeah, let me try and screw with this and see what the camera angle is going to look like. So I can get about.
You can see over those buildings a little bit, but.
Yeah, okay, so if I turn this way, so yeah, they're not quite high enough. I have a couple of domes, but I don't think they fit on those buildings.
I'm going to buy you a sky poster.
Oh, that one will.
There you go.
Okay, so actually I will want that on the top of this one because that's the one they're going to be coming up toward. So there's a dome on that one to create a little bit of blocking. Yeah, I think this will work okay. So now here is the corner of the bazaar, and so I need to be able to turn that corner with something. And so I've got let's see,
the squid wall.
I already used the squid wall.
That's too bad. I love the squid wall.
The squid wall is the that squid wall. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that. I need to look around for that because you mean the one with like the Nautilus?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to that. I do have, however, something that looks sort of bizarre-y. I just remembered. Okay, problem with that. Of course. Okay, so there's a sort of a bazaar-like thing, and if I use that, then my wall looks widowed, and you can't figure out this wall here.
No, I think it looks great. I think it's perfect because what it does is like going around a bend to the secret stall, or it could be the laboratory. You never know. It's just City of Brass.
That's true. I guess I'll just leave it there. Well, the thinking was, okay, so the way that the City of Brass um, is designed is that it is a bowl shape. So part of what I was thinking with this wall at the back of the bazaar was that it would be sort of terracing itself upward. And
Right.
the way that this looks right now, I don't really like very much. Because I want to have something come out from that. Let's do this. And that may give us a problem when we approach from the other direction, actually. Damn. Okay.
What if you put that? Not to interrupt, but the corner wall that has like the angle.
Mm-hmm.
What if you put the house like right next to the last straight wall there that has the? Because what's making that strange from this camera view is I see like the gap between right there, like that.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then I think you could use that corner wall somewhere else as a random wall.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because the little strange corner gap made it look like you could stare through there and throw like stones at whoever behind there.
Right.
That's
No,
what
exactly.
that's what I would do.
You would throw stones. Yeah, I know.
Well, that's why I don't get to play in your games. That's why I just watch them.
No, yeah, that's exactly right.
I know. I'm not. No lies. I almost got thrown off for the time I played a slug. So
you would have deserved to be thrown off for the time I was playing.
I did. I did. I know.
Yeah.
I'm racked with guilt, man.
I'm sure you are. Here's the problem, though, is that they're going to be approaching it from sort of this direction.
Yeah, but you're way higher up than they're approaching it from.
That's true, but I still think they're going to see that.
I kind of like it. I think it looks good. So,
well, hang on a second. Let me see how that's
watching your perfectionist mind is kind of interesting because honestly, remember that this is going to be a 2-minute video. And the background is not quite the whole focus. You're going to be looking at all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But this is why our books are so good because Matt can't like turn his brain off.
I know it. I suppose what I could do is if I move this up to here. Yeah, that's not going to work. I got it.
Yeah.
All right. So the way I've got it set up here now, looks like this. And so what that means is that you're going to be able to see it from low down. When you come over here, it's going to be sort of more like this. So we still do have that corner come around, but it's a lot less. It's going to be a lot less.
Well, that's where you stick the genie because that'll make it interesting.
Yeah. No. Oh, that's a good point. I mean, there's a certain amount of sleight of hand that I could use, and I hadn't really thought about that.
Oh my God, a freak! And then you just keep running.
To make sure I'm going through the area real fast.
Yeah, see, there's all kinds of tricks you can use, man.
All right, so now we've come around, and our guys are going to be leaving with their backs
to that wall,
to this area that we are seeing here. So we're seeing one of the fake walls, and so I want to throw up another building there, and I have one. It's another printable scenery piece that I'll be able to put right there. So now I have a building here.
How many hours have you had your printer run?
Hundreds.
Your printers, yeah.
Hundreds.
Amazing. These look great though, man.
Good. All right, what other resources do I have here to use?
A printed bordello. There's got to be one of those.
I'm sure there is.
Well, I know there's one of those in Casey's book. This isn't me accusing you of any kind of perversion. This is me just bringing up Casey again. So,
All right, now if we use this building here, really it would be better off if I threw that. Then we're going to have a gap difficulty getting through here.
what if you threw that in the back where the other, like, because that the one you just put down has the matching dome.
Yeah.
Is that tall enough in the back? Like if you swapped out a wall there?
The thing is that those two buildings in the back are my shortest ones, and so I'm
gotcha.
sort of using those would be way too short. Most of the other places.
Gotcha.
All right. So I can scoot that over to there. What I'm looking at right now is okay. So our guys have come down now.
Yep.
To here. Okay, so let me.
Oh, that's good.
So to orient, this is where they're coming out of the.
So they're facing towards the camera right now.
They're facing toward the camera, and so we need to have some more stuff. Now our alleyway, one of our alleyways that we look down,
crosses across right there.
There's the alleyway, and you're able to see all the way through. All right, so let's put together another building.
So this is another ball dragon piece.
This one is a Hearst Arts piece that I cast using Hearst Arts blocks.
Next to Stephen Picorni, you might know as much about terrain as anybody. Like you, Tom Tullis, and Stephen Picorni.
I doubt it.
Well, I don't know, man. This is pretty impressive.
Let's see. Now I can actually make this a fairly long building since I'm only using.
And what I like about this, which actually I think that probably you get complaints about from certain kinds of people, is the fact that actual cities are built organically and they don't always match. They don't have a similar theme and all kinds of things when they run through. This has the different pieces give it like a more of a this was built in stages kind of feel. And so
well, the thing is that there is I do try and keep some overall themes going in this stuff, but you've got to mix theme. You got to mix similarities in with variations because that's what you see. You do tend to see, in any given. Oh, hey, I know what I can do.
Listen to his brain work. You can hear the clock. You can hear all the little clockwork stuff ticking.
Back here where we've got our back buildings where we had the dome thing and the issue with the height, I can put this thing.
There you go.
Up here, and that just fits, and so that gives me a little bit of extra height. Forgot what I was talking about, but oh yeah, theme. Every city, the buildings are going to have some similarities, and there are going to be some things where they vary from each other, and so you have to sort of try and mix those two aspects of things together. Now I have another building here. Now this one is straight up Fat Dragon.
I recognize that piece very well.
So there's
I know it.
Corner and then a window.
I never tried the window one.
And then a door. And
fancy old Tom Tullis.
A window. And
a genie.
Well, a genie's a figure.
I keep waiting.
I'm not going to show you the genie.
I know. I'm sad and disappointed. I got to wait like everybody else.
Yeah. Well, once we're done recording, maybe I'll show you the genie. But for now, no genie for you.
That's right. No genie for Zach.
The genie Nazi.
You needed Barbara Eden one.
Okay, that would be funny. That would.
Would be funny if you could do it, but I have to behave. It would take away from Casey's seriousness to poke fun of it with a Barbara Eden reference.
I'm not entirely sure that seriousness is even a word that that goes with Casey.
That's probably true, but I was trying to run interference for him before I made fun of him again.
Mhm. Just keep alternating, making fun, and then
That's right. He's a genius. What is dork?
that Casey Christopherson. All right, I'll show you one miniature I did print out. This is a piece by a guy called Ekaroth, and that's going to be that. It's just a brazier with fire in it. It's going to be in the actual Black Knight
Nice.
Bazaar
Was
area.
that sitting by your foot and you're afraid you're going to kick it or something?
Uh-huh.
That's, see, I'm starting to see through this. Aha. That's actually a nice little figure, a nice little print.
Yeah, he does good stuff. It's all sort of scatter terrain stuff. I haven't seen any large buildings or anything from him, but he's got some really good. He does little tents. He does
What's
um,
scatter terrain mean?
scatter terrain. It's actually a term originating from wargaming, which is it's just the stuff you scatter through the wargaming area.
Oh, okay.
So so basically, it's things that are not part of a tile system.
Gotcha.
Is the shorthand that people really use it for now. All right, I got a hole in my city here.
Oh, fire that printer up. Oh,
I have a no. See, one of the things was that I hit the point where I was like, okay, we're calling it on stuff. Today was the day for calling it on things because,
time.
yeah, exactly. Because left to myself, of course, I could keep printing shit forever and ever, always saying, well, this thing will improve it by just that much. So
No, I know. I gotta admit that one of the things about Kickstarter deadlines is it gets things done.
sure does. All right, so what I've thrown in here now is a gate. You're seeing it from the back side
Yeah,
here,
right.
which means, see, the problem with gates is that you can see through them, so you have to have something behind them. But at least the thing behind them can be um,
Just straight
low.
flat, right?
It can be lower.
Yeah. Like you
So,
did the last one, like you did in the last alley.
yeah.
Right.
So what we're going to put behind this one is just we'll put it there, and so you can see how that's sort of faked up. I mean, there are no corners. Oops. You can see how it's faked up. There are no corners there. But when you look through the gate, you're just going to see that thing that's behind it. And so actually, we are done in terms of having buildings in all
Nice.
the right places.
So everybody's
That's,
going to be surprised when they see this, and then they'll see the final, and they'll know how it was built if they've been following along.
yep. Actually, there is one more area here where I've created another square here in this area. That's an open area. So that would mean I would need more figures. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to decide after we're done with this, as I start actually putting together the minis and things, getting ready to do the actual little walkthrough, is whether or not to keep that a square. And aha, I found it. Okay, so if I don't keep it as a square, what we'll do
Yay!
that blocks
I
off
love that
everything.
wall.
That wall's actually too long.
Oh well.
Um, yeah, the wall's too long. Can I fit it here? That's probably too long also. I'd kind of like to fill that area in and have, if I'm going to have another square.
Well, don't you have enough minis to make it like a little mob?
No, I don't. I don't actually have a whole ton of minis.
Hmm.
I've used combinations here that.
Like if you could get one guy on a stage and a whole angry mob, I think that would that would be very Casey-like.
Let's try this. Are those going to be too high? Those are going to be too high. What if I turn them like that?
There you go.
Nope, because then you're going to be able to see it. Because remember, they're looking down this
Oh,
too.
hmm.
What about then? That would block the whole thing off, and I don't have a roof for it. They might see that from the market area.
But you know what it'll look like? It'll look like an extension of the top roof. I think it'd be all right.
Eh,
You won't. What am I thinking?
It's not perfect.
Yeah. This little video of him walking through a fake city of brass is not perfect yet.
All right, no, I got another arch here, and so I can put my arch right there.
Yeah,
So that will work seen from both sides. Be better if I had a little short wall here.
I bet you have one somewhere.
Well, I do have a little wall here.
See?
Now it's not the right kind of wall. I guess that'll do.
It'll be changed. I'm gonna put my words down now in front of everybody that's watching this video. That will not be like that when you see the video.
No, I think it's probably.
Mark my words. I don't know. You won't be able to stand it.
It'll depend on what it looks like when you look down the alleyway.
And we will all see. We'll see if I'm right.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't line up with that window there. I could put it here. No. It's painful. That wall was sort of my final hope there.
You'll find something.
I'm looking around right now at the stuff I have, but
you could take the camera up there and show everybody else the stuff you're working with.
No, well, I mean, it's that stuff there. But
that's nice and blurry. They can't tell. Perfect.
Okay. Well, that I think is actually going to be what we do. Let me look at this box over here.
Sounds like Legos. That's what it just sounded like. That.
Yeah,
box.
there's little plastic pieces sliding around in there.
That's probably the box for me that you haven't painted yet. That's all kind of weird stuff.
No, most of your stuff is incorporated, but it's incorporated in the dungeon stuff, not into the city.
Well, I didn't print any city stuff, so that's why.
Well, there is that. I do have a great big statue of a genie.
You're not supposed to show that? No showing that.
Yeah, no, but the question is where I'd be putting it. I could put it here in this little square.
But you need a fountain in there.
Bazaar. So yeah, a fountain was one of the things that I was really, really seriously thinking about printing.
It's too bad that you didn't know a guy who printed a hydro fountain at one point with plastic water that is blue and translucent.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that was me. It's too bad you didn't build that. Because it's sitting in your box on top of your thing, I assure you.
You didn't send me that.
I did so. It's in there. It should be in your box.
Nope.
In your Death and Taxes box?
Death and Taxes.
Yes, there's a hydro fountain in there. I bet the miniature's in yours.
Yeah. Okay, I may look at that. Haha. I'll put something in there. I think I could put my big genie statue in there. I have a winged angel statue here, but
that doesn't seem like it matches Casey's vision.
No, I don't think it really does. But I could.
You could break the wings off. That would match Casey's vision.
That would totally.
Leave the wing on the ground. Like, what happened to that statue? Nothing.
Nothing.
Why would anybody take a holy statue and break it?
I could put an outhouse in there. Actually, that sort of looks just like a little shack, so that'll work.
It needs a little moon carved on the side, but yeah.
Yeah, I've got some other just little incidental, junk that you find out in the streets of a city, so I'll fill that in. But, all right, cool.
All right.
Well, you know what, Zach? I think that we have pretty much the setup. I'm just going to fill it in with the miniatures, and then I'll probably take a stab at doing the walkthrough. Did I lose you?
Yeah, no, I'm back now.
Okay.
You've done that twice on this.
Okay.
But I try to keep looking at the camera and smiling so I can make sure that it's all good.
All right, sounds good. So,
all right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you for watching, everyone. This is the putting it all together video, and then you'll get to see what it looks like is the next step. So no matter what kind of D&D it is that you play, imagine the hell out of it.
And make sure you pledge City Brass.
And yeah, that's a good point. If you're watching this, Frog God Games is doing a Kickstarter. We're sort of free riding on their Kickstarter to get views, and so if you've enjoyed the video, go and drop a little bit of cash on the Kickstarter. Alrighty,
All right,
bye
thanks
everyone.
everybody.